Hello. I'm Violet, and I think I might be a targeted individual. Positive that I'm positive that I am a targeted individual in one way or another. Um, because my life has not gone well, and it's not gone well in very odd and interesting ways. So the last video, I talked about how let me see. We had just moved into our brand new house, and I was about 4 years old, I think. Maybe I was four and a half, 5. Um, I might have even been 3. I don't know. I don't know. But we had just moved into our brand new house that my parents had built, and we only got about 4 years in that house, which is the sad and terrible truth of it. But so they built this beautiful 4-story house. It had a basement. It had a sub basement that was the family room that wasn't carpeted until we moved out of it. We were trying to sell it, so we tried carpeting it with really cheap carpet. It had a ground level, basically, floor, and then it had an upstairs with all the bedrooms. And initially, it had one bathroom, 3 bedrooms, and one bathroom at the very top. So yeah, and the master bedroom did not have its own bathroom at all. So that's an interesting little thing. Um, and then when we were trying to sell the place, my dad actually installed the bathroom in the family room. And he seemed pretty happy to do that. He liked doing it. So that's good. I'm glad. He installed a beautiful, like seashell sink. I thought it was gorgeous. I loved it. Seashells were really big back then in the 1980s, you know, and the coral colors, and the going on vacation and the neon and but it was mainly, coral colors and pastels and stuff like that. So it was nice to get something pretty for once, you know. Because my parents were the type that built a nice big house, but then didn't necessarily have the money to finish it. They didn't have any money to finish the basement. It was just bare walls, or the family room that was concrete and bare walls too. And the only place in the whole house that was finished in any way was the main floor and the bedroom. So yeah, 1980s. So sorry, I need to. I'm recording these videos now because I want to record them before I forget. Because these entities, whatever these are that are attacking me, they make me forget. And then they wipe the content. I have actually woken up to my phone being messed with, which is really creepy because my phone was messed with and stuff was taken out of my actual journals, and whatnot, and taken out of even old like DVDs and whatnot. You'd be shocked. You know how you could burn your own DVD and CD and stuff. I actually had the ability to do that because I had an old laptop. Sorry here, and there. Oh, God. I'm itching all over. It's getting really bad for me. It's 2 o'clock. They're clearly wanting me to go to sleep. I don't want to. Not yet. So anyway, I want to get this done. Um, Sorry if I'm trying not to itch on camera. I'm sorry. I'm really trying hard not to itch on camera. So, to get back to the timeline, um, so we moved into this house, and this is the thing. Something told me that these are memories. This is what sticks in my head. just as well as knowing that I have a past life where I was tortured to death over 3,000 years ago for being, I was tortured to death along with like 10 members, basically all the members of my church, for being an early Christian. And we were tortured to death, as far as I'm concerned. It was probably in Rome. Where else could it be? But yeah, I remember that. And I remember that through this whole life. And I know why, because I've been so horrifically tortured in this life. So past lives are real. And this shit's been going on for forever, but we're now finally getting technologically advanced enough to finally be able to understand it and know what's going on, which is one of the things that they're worried about, which I think is one of the reasons why they're trying to wipe out humanity now and knock them back down into the Stone Age so that they can keep doing this stuff and take away our current knowledge and technology. It's a theory. I don't know if it's right, but it's a theory. And also, I hope that you can hear me. My voice is going hoarse, and I hope that they're not doing that to me. That's, but my throat is getting very, very rough here, so I better hurry up and try to talk as much as I can. I'm pulling the phone closer to hopefully. I'm sorry I'm going off camera here, but right now what matters is my voice, and this is more of a podcast. So even though it's so humid in here, I think I might turn my humidifier on and shut the window anyway. It's really hot and humid in here, and it's really airless in here despite the window being open. But so just real quick, just to make this video as fast as I can, some of the things that I remember from back when we had lived in that nice big beautiful newly built house. I had some really horrific nightmares. I remember telling my mom about them, and she straight out told me, "Oh, that's a dream, hon, that's a dream." And she told me that's a dream about a lot of stuff. And one of the things that helped click it in my head was the fact that some of the stuff that she told us it was a dream about, she ended up having to confess later on that it wasn't a dream, and that she'd merely told us that it was a dream. There's several things like that. I won't go into them because that's not for this video. But interestingly enough, when I was young, I knew, sorry, I'm itching. There's allergy attack. This is more of a podcast than the visual, so don't look at me, just listen. So literally, even back then, I knew that these were memories, and that was what was stuck in my head. These are memories. They're not dreams. They're memories. They're not dreams. Always remember that. Always remember that. Always remember that. These are memories. They're not dreams. And I always remember that. And I have memories of being inside, like I am now in my own physical body, being inside a very large, burly man's body and test flighting high-end fighter jets and knowing how to calculate for, everything for the arc of a circle, arc of angles, how to calculate for speed and what that would do to the atmosphere, the jet itself, all the different components of the jet, the human body, being able to do high-end calculations instantaneously, very quickly, and test flighting some really out there technology. Now, it's, especially nowadays, but, with the ability to actually distort time and, pop around in a spaceship, actually physically going somewhere via firepower, via fuel, that's obviously old caveman technology, if you want to call it that. But this was the 1980s, and I have memories of this from when I was 4. I have memories of being put in a high-end program, high-end distance, I want to say, program. And I have memories of being educated in being an engineer. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, in the underground, whatever you want to call it, the big brother's armpit, big brother's asshole, which is what some of them actually called it, um, which makes sense. Um, being a high-end engineer and being taught high-end calculations for things, and I still have that stuff, and I'm glad I have it. And being taught maps and distances and how to calculate and how to drive a car, how to drive quickly, how to fight, how to survive, how to like roll down a flight of steps, safely, how to hit someone and throw someone in such a way so that you won't hurt them, you won't break their body, you know, how to, you know, I mean, all kinds of stuff, how to like stab the back of their neck to instantly kill someone. It just, things that a 4-year-old, there's no chance. There's no chance. But I remember beyond a shadow of a doubt being accepted into a high-end engineering academy is what comes to my mind now. I don't know why. But a high-end engineering program, department. Department is correct. That's what they called it back then. And I remember running around with a trench coat on and being a man in black. And I don't remember that just from when I was 4. I remember that, I don't know how else to put it, throughout the rest of my life, essentially. So I can promise you, and I was told that the trench coat would protect me, that the trench coat was my shield, it was my protection. And I think that started breaking down when I was being bullied so hard and so bad in middle school and elementary school. When we eventually got shuffled down to Oklahoma, which is where my dad landed, and therefore the rest of my family after he ended up getting laid off because Control Data ended up. By the way, Control Data is a company that doesn't exist anymore. Same with the one that he used to work for called Seagate, which is interesting. Seagate and Control Data, just the names themselves kind of speak for themselves. Um, and they make, they made hard drives, according to him. They made hard drives. Um, and I know that there was a massive tech bust, as they call it, in the 1980s. And so when I was 8 years old, my dad lost his job because Control Data ended up being dissolved as a company. And he put out over 100 resumes and he didn't really get any bites at all. He didn't get a single job out of it. And apparently what was left of Control Data ended up being sold out to another company called Seagate, and he just barely managed to get a job with Seagate. And so we all ended up moving down to, at that point in time, I think he ended up moving in 1989, because it was 1988 that it happened. And Christmas of 1988, he was sitting on the couch and he ended up finishing this um, under the tree skirt knitting thing because he didn't know what to do with himself. He was literally just sitting there beside himself, his mom said. He didn't know what to do with himself. He didn't know what to think, and I could see that something was really wrong. Looking back now as an adult, I can remember that expression on his face exactly. And his world had been ripped out from underneath him, and he had never expected this because he was on the upward climb. He was on the upward climb. Everything was going great for him. And then that absolutely annihilated his life, and it got even worse. Um, And I remember some of those horrific fights down in the family room with mom trying to play secretary and type out his resumes for him, and him dictating them to her, and him screaming at her saying that she couldn't do anything right. My dad is very abusive. Very. I'm not, but that has nothing to do with any of this. Um but my parents have been so abusive that I've actually wondered, my dad especially, if he's actually part of, if I was actually purposefully born to be experimented on, and he is part of the experiment, because he is definitely a torturer. 100%. He is a torturer. Um, I've been told spiritually that in my previous life, he was the torturer who tortured me to death in that prison when I was a Christian 3,000 years ago. And the time that Christ died was actually, you know, it was much longer than what the Christians are saying. So the timelines are much longer. There's a lot more time involved. So, just to let you know. So, but yeah, so yeah, this is, the more I say, the more shocked I am, and the more I'm going, oh my God, the more I'm realizing. And the more I'm just sitting here going, I don't know, should I even put any of this stuff out? But I do want to say, I am real. I do exist. Uh, if this exists after my death, then I did exist at one time. Um, and this shit is real. And obviously, if you found this video, then more than likely something's going on with you to cause you to stumble across this. And I just want to let you know, you're not the first. Um, you won't be the last. You can fight and advocate for yourself all you want. I don't know what good, if any good, it will do. Um, definitely try to protect yourself. Definitely try to get away from humanity if you can. But knowing that they have control of the entire world along with all of the space around it, um, I don't know if that will do any good. Um, but just to let you know, you're not alone. You're not alone. You may be alone entirely in the time that you are watching this, because, who knows if I'll even be around. But just to let you know, simply because uh, I exist now, but just, just in case, simply because I existed, you are not alone. Those are the only words of comfort I can think of to give on the spur of the moment. Uh, simply because I used to exist, you are not alone. And I'm glad that you were able to find this video. And I hope that it jogs your own memory, that it causes you to probe your own memory, your own life, your own body, your own feelings. Um, I hope it gets you to, you know, if you dare want to risk your life, or maybe just your name and reputation, I don't know. If you dare want to risk, your freedom, you can try probing your friends, probing your family members, ask them pointed questions, ask them whatever. Look into their stuff, dig through their stuff, dig through their lives, dig through their minds, dig through their files, see what you can find. Hack, It's time to start a hacking. Hack yourself, hack people around you, hack, 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 hack. And through hacking, just as I found out, you will get the answers. And I hope that you manage to find some kind of an escape. I hope you manage to find cures. I hope you manage to find protection. I hope you manage to find stopping of these evils, or at least ways to stop these evils, or at least areas that you can stop, these evils from happening, going on. So yeah, this video was a complete and total mess. I hope to do more. It's 2 a.m. My voice is rough. I gotta give it a rest. So I'm gonna start uploading these now. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.